We have been reading through, Caroline, many of the comments that people are saying about some of the shaman audios, the channelings that we have done. And there is some people who think that the shamanic tradition is quite separate around the world. And there are some that are saying, no, this is not true. They are all linked. And what we want to say is actually both are right. Both are exactly that. The shaman tradition is, in many respects, the same. Not because it is expressed the same or practiced the same, but because why? Because it comes from the same source. Just as everything in the universe comes from this universal energy, this source, so does the shaman tradition. So whilst it is expressed in these different ways all around the world, and practiced, and even the outcomes sometimes are expected to be different from whatever is the practice is. It is the same. The tradition is the same because of the source that it comes from. And when we say that, we don't just mean the universal source, the universal energy. What we mean is the whole procedure, if you like, of the shaman tradition, and its very heavy emphasis on this idea of journeying, right? That's quite a heavy emphasis on that in all of the shaman practices around the world in the tradition, all around the world. That's a very large part. Some shamans, they have to go into trance to do it, but other ones, they can develop it so that they can be actually in a waking, what is considered a waking zone, like with the other human beings, and they can be journeying whilst they are there. So they actually can live in the physical and in this other world at the same time. Not all of the time, but at the same time they have this ability some of the time, if you see what we mean. But then there is this idea that there is this separateness, that all of these different traditions, that the shaman tradition is actually a lot of different traditions. And we would say, yes, that is correct. But it is not traditions in groups. It is actually at the individual level. Absolutely at the individual level. Because every single individual that is interested in the shaman tradition practices in the shaman way or is a shaman, they are all different. The experiences are all different. Even if you have a master or a mistress, if you like, that is guiding you, is teaching you, is apprenticing you, whatever you want to say, they will be showing you their way, their rituals, their practice. But your experience of that is absolutely your own experience. You will never experience what your teacher is experiencing unless they give you that experience. Right? But when you are doing it yourself, on your own, that is absolutely your experience. You are on your own. It is your belief system that is created. It is your experiences that mold you. It is your expression of those experiences that present you to the world. So you are on your own. Yes, you can rely on the structure of the particular tradition that you are being initiated into, of course. But just to rely on that structure means that you are not actually being shaman. You are not actually living and breathing it. You are just relying on a structure to guide you with rituals and possibilities. But to be really shaman, to be really knowledgeable in this tradition, you actually just take the structure of the tradition that you are being initiated into, and you experience it in your own way. And that's why we say that shaman, you are on your own. Because nobody can experience your experience, unless of course you want them to. Nobody can be you. Nobody can be the shaman that you are. Nobody can practice the way you practice. Because it is always at an individual level. Always. And why? Why is that so? Because everybody has their own gifts and talents. Everybody has their own likenesses and dislikes. So you are always going to practice and express and experience in the way that feels comfortable with you. And that way is very individual. Nobody else will feel comfortable in that. They will always have their own idiosyncratic way or belief. So, yes, all of these people that are writing comments, they are all right. It is separate and it is all the same. It is all together. It is all from the same fountain of information, if you like. But at the end of the day, every single one of the shamans, whether they are an initiated shaman, whether they just practice in the tradition, or whether they have an interest in it, they are all on their own.